and the Russians were fighting. Well, hold on. They were fighting.
Japanese, no?
They were fighting most of the war by themselves, 200 fronts by themselves.
Yes.
The British and Americans were between them fought on 10 fronts. 10 fronts. While the Russians, who carried the burden of the war, they killed more Nazis, they liberated more land, and they suffered the most.
How many million died as well? How many
26 million. 26 million.
26 million more.
26 million. No. Well, 26 million of the Soviets. It was the Soviets, the Russians that won the Second World War. Don't lie. It wasn't the British. Stop telling lies.
Yeah, we still.
Stalin saved Europe and the world from Nazis.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know his story. You don't
That's
know
a
your own
fact.
history.
Why don't we thank him?
Because the establishment in this country is full of colonialist, imperialist.
But Stalin was a white man.
Capitalist.
Stalin was a white man and an imperialist.
His
Was
kind
he
of
not? He sat at the table in Yalta.
He was not an
What
imperialist.
did he agree to
He
do?
was not an imperialist.
Split up Europe.
No.
I'll have this bit.
He
You have
was
that bit.
not an
He was an
imperialist.
imperialist.
He was not
Then
an
why did he want
imperialist.
half of Europe? Why did he want half of Berlin?
Where is Vladivostok?
Why?
Where is Vladivostok?
Why did he want half of
To
Europe?
make sure the fascist element,
Wait a minute.
to make sure the fascist tendency that is ingrained in Germanic DNA.
That's the
Russians?
base of it.
Right.
What white Russians?
Doesn't
What white Russians doing in Vladivostok on the Pacific Ocean?
hold on.
What Russians
Good
doing
point,
there?
good point,
And
good
what are they doing in
point, good
Kazakhstan,
point, good point.
Uzbekistan,
The white imperialist Russians. What are they doing?
Blocking his camera.
What are they doing on the border of China, of Korea?
Turkmenistan.
What are they doing there? That is a very good point.
Why? Because it.
Blinkered, you refuse to accept that Stalin,
You're embarrassed.
Russia, the Soviet
You're
Empire
embarrassed.
were imperialist. What are they doing in Vladivostok?
Tajikistan.
What are they doing in
What
Vladivostok?
were the Soviets? They were colonialists as well.
What's Vladivostok? How is that Russia?
Same thing.
Every
Can I get a map of Russia out? It's a big place.
When this guy stops yapping, let me just tell you something. Can you tell me what the white British people were doing in
Can I show you? Oh, you're changing the subject.
No.
You're changing the subject now. Let's get
No,
you.
no, no.
Let's show you a map of
No.
Russia.
Don't try and run.
Let's show you a map of
You
Russia.
want a piece of land? You want a piece of land? It's too big, yeah?
I had a piece of Russia. I didn't like it. I threw it
Oh,
away.
you want a piece of Russia as
That's
well?
my wife.
You want a piece of Russia, yeah?
No. Okay. No, they do. They do want Russia. They've tried to break it up loads of times. In the 1920s, they all ganged up. They all ganged up from the Bolsheviks to try and smash up the Bolsheviks.
Stay home.
They all tried to gang up on the Bolsheviks in 1920, 21, 23.
Why are
You
you
know.
so up Stalin's ass?
Listen,
Why are you up Stalin's
brilliant
ass? I
leader.
bet you love Putin as well, don't you?
He is the best of the best.
He saves you.
He's the best of the best.
Stalin saves
Have
you.
you ever spoken to a Russian person?
Are you Christian?
Loads.
Are you Christian?
No.
He's nothing. Nihilist.
Nothing meaningless.
He's a nihilist.
That's a Jewish helper. Jewish
Well
helper.
done. Nice to meet you.
It's Zionist helper.
If you're not Christian or religious, you're going to be atheist.
Sorry, was it? It's not.
Oh, good. Well, he's got something right. I don't know what's got to do with anything at the moment. But let's.
That's Gwen Stefani in that bus now, with the police escort.
Who's the headliner?
Pink Gwen Stefani, and I haven't heard of any of the others. I looked at the full list, never heard of any of them. Getting older.
Stalin raised and laid the foundation.
Of
and-
murder and tyranny.
Oh, don't even go
total
there.
totalitarianism.
Don't go there. Oh my God. Don't
been
go
to Russia?
there.
You've been to
Don't- Yes, I have actually. But don't go. Oh my God.
You went there once.
Listen. You, the British.
Me! I am Britain!
You! Really? You sure?
No, when it comes to the British,
It's 50-50.
nobody.
You are British, you
I am.
little-
I am.
Well then,
I am.
don't
I am,
forget
I am,
it.
I am.
I'm not sure about him, but you are.
I am. But let's talk
Been
about.
quiet today.
Okay. Let's talk about.
Let's talk
Let's talk about our British culture. Let's talk about our
Let's
shared
change the
culture.
subject.
No, we're not gonna change-
Freedom, democracy,
No,
freedom
listen,
of
listen,
religion,
I'm not.
freedom to gather, freedom to say
Guys,
whatever
not serious. I
bullshit
know
you
you
want
lot
to say.
time.
I know.
Don't waste your time. If you just want to listen,
You waste your time.
you want to act like a little kid, so...
No, he's giving him good lesson, brother, don't worry.
See, I show you the happiest countries in the world. Look,
He's learning, he's learning.
Finland, Denmark, Finland, Denmark, Switzerland, Iceland, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden. They don't believe in
the levels of suicide.
New Zealand, Austria.
Stalin had to beg. He had to beg Churchill and Roosevelt continuously for that second front. They only came in that. Yes, in the Second World War.
He needed our help. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, well, they said
They're
they were
both
gonna
suffering,
do it.
both suffering,
He-
both sides.
He tried to garnish their help way before the Second World War started, but they rejected it. Well, the French sort of agreed, then they changed
Help
it.
against who?
Right? So what was that?
Help to fight who?
Hitler. He could see that this.
He's coming.
He was a.
Like Putin now.
He was a madman. The British and everybody else rejected forming a coalition in 1937, 1938. They rejected that proposition because the British are Russophobic. They always have been.
They want money, they want money.
Yes.
Maybe there is no money on that.
They're
If they have some money, they'll run away.
The historic connections between Britain and Russia, right back to our royal families and the Tsars. It's like we're intertwined historically.
The ruling classes.
Just look at them. You can tell.
Bourgeois are different. They don't live like
We started the conversation
when-
talking about the atrocities and the
Don't
butchery.
drag it back to Palestine.
All right, sorry, okay.
There's a dot and it's gone. It's nice to talk about something else here.
Yeah.
boring.
Because he can't defend the suffering.
Palestine.
You see?
No, it's not.
You
It's
see
not
the
just
suffering?
Palestine. You know.
Are you Bangladeshi?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
Why
He's
not?
trying to.
I'm just guessing. I'm
No,
wrong.
that's the
okay.
truth for the conversation.
We
That's a
sound Jamaican.
diversion.
Your accent is Jamaican.
Okay, no, it's
Jamaican.
Trinidadian actually.
Oh, is it?
It's Trinidadian.
But it's a human interest.
You're right. A human interest.
Yes.
You're from Trinidad.
Yes.
So your parents weren't Christian.
Why not?
I'm just guessing.
Why not?
They were probably very disappointed.
Hey, how you doing? You're right. Good.
How do you judge someone?
Are your
How do you
parents,
judge
are your parents
someone?
Muslim?
My mother converted to Islam after I died.
Right, but your dad isn't. Judging?
You said your parents are not happy. How do you know?
It's a distraction. It's a decoy.
No, it's human intercourse. It's human intercourse.
Freedom. Everybody's free to
Freedom to talk about.
I did. You're right.
choose your religion, you choose your everything.
Sorry, I'm just holding it.
Everybody's free to
You
do
can't have conversation then. You suddenly forgot they got a bloody microphone on.
You know, somebody's recording.
Alhamdulillah. He said,
No, Trinidad is a predominantly Catholic.
There you go.
But that's not the point, really. The point we really want to talk about is our passion for saving lives, our passion for the blood that has been spilled historically for
In
the past
Trinidad.
400 years. And the consequences of that.
Where?
So
Which
the
blood
question
are you
is,
talking
if
about?
we talk about South Africa,
Yes.
if we are talking about South Africa,
Yes.
the atrocities done in South Africa,
That-
we are talking
that was
about
apartheid. That
Yeah.
was apartheid.
Yeah.
Not Israel.
Israel is a apartheid abomination.
How can you compare Israel with South Africa?
I'll compare.
They privilege.
I'll compare.
They-
I'll compare. Nelson Mandela, he was a terrorist or no?
Who?
Mandela. He was a terrorist at that time.
Well, not when he.
Come on,
became-
say-
not
they-
when he became president.
No. Before that. What do they call him? What do they call him, brother? What do they
Who's
call him?
they? Who's they?
They come terrorist.
Some people do.
Yeah?
You think me and Thatcher
Every
are like
news.
that, don't you?
The
And now-
Conservative government
and now he's
labelled
a
him a
hero.
terrorist.
and the
Hero
African
now.
National
Now he's a
Congress,
hero.
Yes.
their parties,
come
there's
on,
a
come
list on them
And
who became
then,
ministers
what the-
were still on the terrorist
what the
list.
IRA people that are now in government. Yeah, the same happens.
Thank you. So you call it Palestinian terrorist?
I can't
You are
remember
calling-
the
what's
names.
they
What are the
call it?
two IRA
Palestinian.
guys that, and Martin McGuinness and the other one with a brown beard. What's his name? Adams. Jerry Adams. They were terrorists one day.
Okay.
Then they ended
they
up.
weren't
Then they
big.
gave up. Then they
they
gave up the
Do
fight.
you have any proof?
Mandela gave up the
Jerry
fight.
Adams.
They
They were
belong-
both
they belong to-
senior
Mandela.
operatives.
They
in the
belonged
IRA.
to. They belonged to. They were members.
They were senior
they were
operatives.
They were
I think
leaders-
one
they-
of them was the leader
They were leaders of the
of the IRA.
Okay.
No, the IRA. No.
Let me make a point. Let me make a point.
Mandela
I think
gave up the
Mark
fight.
McGuinness.
Mandela
Mark
won.
McGuinness was a member of the IRA.
Right. Let me make a point
And
here.
leader, I think. So was Jerry Adams.
Let me make a point.
No.
I want to make a point.
Go on,
Now,
make a point.
in the study of terrorism, they divide terrorism into two camps. One, they call it Martha Kenshaw who is the expert in terrorism and psychology in causations of terrorism. She said terrorism is in two parts.
Right.
Number one, she says wholesalers, and the other one is retailers. Retailers is the individuals who has no power and does terrorism. Wholesalers are the state who has real power.
There's something in between.
Let me finish. Let me
Yeah.
finish.
in
I know,
Let me finish the
I know,
point.
yeah. So the
clever.
question
When
is,
you reach the point,
whenever
you
we talk about
distract you.
terrorism, the media always focus on the retailers. However, the real conversation for the experts in the study of terrorism is the wholesalers. Wholesalers
Well, the
means
IRA
state.
wholesaler-
Just a minute,
Hold
just a
on,
minute.
hold on, let me
One
finish.
second,
IRA
one second,
wholesaler
Let
one
me
second.
finish.
What we're talking about is state terrorism. And the conversation we're trying to have here about state terrorism,
What state
wh-
terrorism?
whether it refers to the historical, whether it refers to the contemporary, but the state terrorism today in this world has been supported by the global powers in which many people
What
like
is-
yourself
what is that state
affiliate ourselves
it?
to.
Well,
the
it's
global powers.
what is
For me, the state terrorists are the United States, Britain, the Zionist abomination. And those are the top three.
The
What
cronies.
about, what
cronies.
about the entire world governments that locked us down? Is that terrorism? Removing all of our freedoms? We
Of
couldn't
course,
come there.
terrorism. Yes,
Was that
it
terrorism?
was not right. It was not right. I was against it.
No, I mean,
We're
And that was at world level.
let's
State influence, state control,
Yes,
state
yes, yeah.
dictated,
Well, I mean,
removing all of our freedom.
well, I mean,
all of our
you-
freedom.
you can
we couldn't
make-
even see our grandparents dying. That's pretty horrendous.
well,
Is that part of it?
you can make. I'm sort of agnostic on that issue. I'm sort of, on that particular issue. I'm in the sort of grey zone in terms of the disease itself. What I have issues with that particular issue is the efficacy of the so-called vaccines that were bullshit. And it's all emerging right now. And of course, the Americans pumped out a massive scam on everybody.
Americans?
Of course. Pfizer producing vaccines that were absolute crap.
AstraZeneca is British.
Yes, I know.
Good luck. Zero.
Well, of course, I took them, but at the end of the day, they weren't
Never
effective.
they got my blood.
They weren't
Did you
effective.
take any? Vaccine?
No, I'm past the age for that because of my age. I have donated my vaccine to the younger brothers. I'm already going to the grave.
The young people didn't
So
need
I've
it.
donated my
Young
own.
people didn't need it.
I'll tell you that off the camera. But because of my age, I'm exempted. It's more for the younger ones striving.
But younger people are at lower risk, allegedly.
Well,
She should be donating to the older people. if
that's
anything.
the early narrative. They
Right,
even
yeah.
made, later on they made a narrative where the younger people is at risk. And
that was
coming
bigger,
out of
that was
America.
bigger bullshit than the rest of it.
Exactly.
Well, you see, now,
Vaccinating children, bloody
they-
primary
yes, they
school
went to it.
children who
In
have no
addition to that,
risk.
what they said is vaccine people were actually infecting and affecting the health of non-vaccine people.
Which made it more dangerous
Why?
than
Because
helpful.
the
Well, I've got
vaccine
the
in
vaccine,
itself,
I'm going to walk
the
about
vaccine
and spread
itself,
it.
the
It's
vaccine
crazy.
itself has a virus in it, and it's
Bits of virus.
right. Every
Well, like a
antivirus,
bit- like a bit
every
small,
antivirus is
All
made from a
vaccine-
virus.
All vaccines have
Generally,
bits of
yes.
virus in
But
it.
the question is,
But this
this
wasn't a
one,
proper vaccine, to be
this
honest.
vaccine, this COVID vaccine,
a
was
MR it's a
impacting
MR
upon
it's a-
people
it's a
who did not.
mRNA,
It was even
genetic
affected-
technology. It's not a vaccine.
Even though it was affecting pregnant women, it was affecting young children, and they would
See, we
test
can all agree
running
on
it.
this point. All of my friends agree.
Listen, at the end of the
We're talking about the vaccine.
at the end of the day, it was a massive. The American pharmaceutical companies implemented a massive con
COVID
on
vaccine
everything.
wasn't a
That vaccine was completely ineffective, and it's all coming to light now. It's all coming to light because it didn't stop transmission. It didn't, it didn't stop you from getting the virus. It was a
You
complete.
didn't. I took it twice and
But the
It was a-
problem is,
it was a scam.
It
It's a
took a
complete
long
scam.
time for us to recalibrate and come to realize because we wasn't prepared for this.
No.
So it hit the world by surprise. It reset the world, and it tells the world in the event of a crisis or pandemic, this is how the world can operate. So huge amount of data was put in place, huge amount of data Panic went through the public. How the public respond to
But
panic.
you'll notice that in the United States it was utterly disastrous. They had the biggest death rate in the United States because they don't have a socialized health system. They've got a completely privatized, disjointed, unconnected health system. And so the health outcomes for everybody for a situation that could have been controlled far better was disastrous in America. They had by far the highest death rates because of their disastrous capitalist.
But one of the reasons why the statistics is wrong, the statistics is questionable because a lot of people
Statistics of
of the death of
Yeah,
COVID,
oh yeah.
right? Because at that time,
with
when
COVID,
someone
not
died,
of COVID.
there was no test can be run of them, and whether you die from pneumonia or any other respiratory infections, all that was labeled in the stats as COVID. So the question is high numbers. But if you look at it, urban cities were much more affected than any other cities, high congested. And there are some African countries or countries that was not Western countries that had absolutely no impact on COVID.
Even though their standards of living weren't very good.
It wasn't the best, but the question is those countries were not affected by it.
no, I've heard
But
of that,
even the stats, the statistics of COVID is questionable how that data is run. And we're still drinking that down. But coming back onto the topic of state terror, state terror, state terror. My man here specializes in that.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
We need to have a human concern, a nation concern about ongoing state terror, whether it's
Give me
close
some examples.
or far.
Give me some
Israel.
examples.
Well, do you know what, bro?
Israel.
I've
Zionism.
Any others? Any others?
Zionism.
Give me some more.
Well, Britain and
Give me some more.
Britain and America. Those are the three.
Every
Give me some
country.
more. Give me some more.
All right, let me give you some more.
Ukraine,
France,
Tibet,
Yeah.
Taiwan.
France.
Give me some more.
France.
Every country outside the Western Hemisphere who refuse to comply with Western foreign policies have suffered. For example, Sudan. Sudan now. And a lot, Libya has suffered from that. Egypt have suffered from that. So the West has engineered.
Again, it's not just
Libya.
the West.
Yes,
Look
has
what
engineered
Russia has done
Syria.
to Syria by
Oh
Russia.
my! They saved them. They
Doesn't
saved
want to
them.
knee. Doesn't
They
want to knee
saved them.
down. Doesn't want to knee down.
They saved
Putin in
them.
a saddle
They
like that.
saved
What
them.
are you
They
talking
saved
about?
them. They saved them.
From
And
what?
it was
From
easy.
Assad? Have they saved them from Assad? No. So who they saved them from?
They saved them from the jihadists that were being sponsored and trained and funded and armed by Britain and America. In actual fact, the United States is illegally occupied and invaded that country and is in their oil fields stealing their
Syria,
oil.
in Syria.
Yes, right now, as we speak.
Does Putin know about this?
Listen.
It's all geopolitics, be honest.
No.
Putin backs Syria because they need a base in that area of the world. It's
They already had a base.
geopolitics.
Already had a base.
Where? Where?
Tatars. Is it called Tatars base?
Where's that?
I'll tell you why.
Where is that? Where is that?
It's
What
it's on
country?
it's in Syria.
Oh, Russia had a base in
Close to
Syria.
Israel. Close to
So they had a
Palestine.
geopolitical interest in
Yeah,
Syria.
close to Palestine.
Yes, they did.
So we have
For a long time.
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
not interested.
Palestine, he put his
I'm trying to have a conversation without talking about that.
Putin put his foot there for Israel and the West to be careful. If something happens somewhere here and there, he can help the people to invade them. So he playing his game. Yeah,
boring.
he's playing his game.
Boring.
Everybody playing his
boring.
game. It's not boring. It's true.
The Americans have illegally invaded and occupied Syria.
Can I tell you one thing? People here in Speaker's Corner rant on and on and on about Israel and Palestine more than they do there. When there's when there's an inflammatory moment and there's violence in Israel on the streets of Israel, they get over it way before people here at Speaker's Corner get over it. And I've seen that with
Why
my
they get
own
over
eyes.
it? Why they
Because
get
they're
over it?
living it and they're
No.
relaxed. And they don't swallow
No,
the propaganda
no.
that people in Speaker's
Do you know why they get
Corner-
over it?
Why?
The militarization of that atmosphere. When you walk the street, the
wasn't
tanks.
militarised.
It's
I
a
went
militarized
out for
area.
meals
The
and drinks.
biggest military
It's not.
arm in the world.
The state
It's
is built.
not. I swam in the Dead Sea. There was no military there. I went
You're
on
white
the-
privilege.
I went on the beach.
They know
in
who you
Tel
are.
Aviv. I
You had a
cycled
tour
bike
guide.
along
He
the
had a tour
entire-
guide. He had a
3
tour
years of
guide.
military, brother.
He had a
Yeah,
British
obligatory,
passport.
brother.
Yes.
They didn't ask. When I was walking the streets of Tel Aviv, they didn't ask me my passport.
I wouldn't get the same
mouth
treatment.
and over you are.
And they didn't
Before
ask
that.
anyone's passport
No.
on the streets of Tel Aviv.
3 years
He had
of
security.
military obligatory.
I had
3
no
years.
security. I had my wife and my 9-year-old son.
Nonsense.
Next
Utter
time you
nonsense.
send your security.
You will have. Must
I
have.
had no security.
No, you don't have
Next time
security.
we send you.
No,
Send you
listen,
next time.
you can enter Israel. You enter Israel, and no
so
security
can you, and so can
concerns will happen with you as a white privileged man. British white privilege with a British passport.
black
Were you
British
informed
privileged
when you
man?
went through Israel and you went through customs? Were you informed of places not to go?
No.
No,
Were you?
I was not allowed in.
Did you try?
Naughty
Did you
man.
try? Did you try?
He is lying.
What you see, I give you an honest answer, and you still call me a liar.
You cannot leave here from Britain.
I answered your question.
No.
No, I wasn't told
No,
that.
you were
You're
told.
not actually listening.
Why
No,
you
you
went
were
there?
told.
Because
I was.
it's
you
You
were
think
told.
I was told
privilege.
we're not to
White
go?
privilege.
No, you will
Well,
be
I
given.
categorically was
you,
not.
You will be given cautions of where you can go, where you cannot.
Where would that happen? At Heathrow
It's an
or at
apartheid
Tel Aviv?
abomination.
Apartheid
It didn't
domination.
happen.
You call them
Before-
terrorists
It
today.
didn't happen.
Listen,
It's an apartheid abomination. Even the UN has stated that Israel is
Have
an
you heard there's a
apartheid
suburb,
abomination.
there's a Muslim suburb, a Muslim dominant suburb of Tel Aviv called Jaffa. Have you heard of that?
I know that.
So,
I had a couple of this morning.
so where's that apartheid? Do you think, has London got apartheid because there's a lot of Irish in Kilburn?
No, no.
Is that apartheid?
Please.
If you
Stop.
come, if you come.
I saw with my own eyes in the shopping malls, in the parks, Jewish people, Catholic, Christian people, Muslim hijabbed women, people look like you and I, talking English, American, other languages. There is no apartheid on the streets of Israel.
Those people stole that land from the Palestinians.
Jumping all over the place, aren't you? You're jumping. Talk about apartheid.
I'm talking about 48. I'm talking about 48.
Well, we're in
Stolen land.
2023 now. Get today. Fuck the past. If people, no, seriously.
How you live
If
without
we
your
all dwell
past?
on the past,
How you
we'll
can
never
live
be
without the
forward.
past? How you can live without your
forward.
past? How do you?
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
People
question.
suffering and dying because of your attitude.
Let me ask you a question.
No, people are suffering and dying because of your attitude, because there will never be true peace.
No. How can you
the
go
past.
to?
If people took my attitude, there's more likely to
How
have
can you
peace.
go to? You see,
Someone home.
This-
you
this-
take
But
him
there are some
out,
people who
and
hate
you said
Jews,
forget the
who
past.
never want a Jew stepping on the land of whatever they call
No one hates Jews.
That's a-
And there will
this
be
is a
never,
lie.
and there
This
will
is not
never
about
be
Jews.
peace.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
It's about Zionism.
Really?
It's not about Jews. Whenever you talk about
The-
Zionism, they change the
Arabic
debate
Jews-
and they make you
Arabic
believe
Jews
you
have
hate
been living
Jews.
there. Arabic
Sorry.
Jews have been living there
They
for
try to make you
centuries.
believe
Yes,
you
right.
hate
Yes.
Jews.
Persian
Anytime you
Jews
talk
have been
about
living there
Zionism,
for centuries.
I've really got to show you this green
It's
map
the
again.
white European Jews
I've got to
that
show
went
you this
there.
green
It's the
map
white
again.
European Jews that went there and caused all the
This is
problems.
terrorism. You hear that?
But anyway.
But they change the debate. Anytime you talk about Zionism,
It's the
they want to make
Zionist-
you believe
It's the
that
Zionist
you
white
hate Jews.
European Jews that went there and caused all the problems.
And you see that historical narrative that you bring to the table. People who claim to be Jews today
No,
are
people that live in
actually
Palestine, they kick him out.
European white people.
Exactly.
See that?
Exactly.
See that is hitting it to the heart.
That's the
That's
thing.
hitting
You
it to
don't
the
know
heart.
what
And
it
the
is.
question
What
is,
should have happened then? After
false
the second?
identity, imposters is the nature of the narrative. That's the narrative, my brother. Imposters. Now, whenever this conversation comes up, they're going to change it and make you look at, you hate Jews. So you just like Hitler. And you might do what Hitler do. So they're saying that on camera, so they put you on a security watch.
Exactly. Now,
That's what they're doing.
what has that got to do with the Palestinians? Was it the Palestinians that genocided them? No, it was white Christian Europeans that genocided them. It was white people genociding white people in Europe. Why are the Palestinians suffering? Why?
For someone
It's a political cult they're running. And that cult
You're a French-speaking Algerian,
perpetuates
you're not an Arab.
global
You have no more
crimes in the
association
world
with
today.
that than I
That
am.
cult that he's defending. And the question is, every time this conversation comes up, wherever in the world it comes up, they find strategic ways to make you look as though you hate Jews, and you are equated like Hitler. So you're another Hitler who just hates for being Jews.
You want to spread lines like there's Jews all over
Yes.
the place. There's Jews
Yes.
all over North Africa. There's
Simple.
Jews. There were
Two
Jews
things.
way before the white people got there.
Two.
You know, all over the Middle East.
If the Jewish
Persian
people-
Jews, Arabic Jews,
Jewish
you know,
people,
African Jews,
African Jews,
yeah.
you know,
They become, listen,
Ethiopian
ask me
Jews.
questions, yes?
Yeah.
all sorts of
I don't care.
But the narrative is that Judaism is represented by a pale-faced man, right? From Northern Europe. From Northern Europe. Now, that's the dominant narrative, and anytime you shake his cage, it irritates him. But what they want to do is, on camera, they want to put you in a certain way so that the security service of this
And
country...
it comes back to my central point. Zionism is white supremacy.
Right.
It's a branch of white supremacy.
Now, people who are affiliated and who benefited from white supremacy because they are white privileged themselves,
They can't see it.
they don't want to see it. Why? They can see it if they want. They don't want to see it because it will compromise the very glory that they have. Now, when they hold a British passport, a white man like him, classic, blue eyes, color eyes, he's seeing the kind of treatment he gets when he go to Arab countries, when he go to African countries, when he go to multiple countries, the kind of glorious treatment he
He tries to
gets.
superimpose that experience
Exactly.
on everybody else.
Now, he wants to preserve that. He don't want to compromise that. He wants to preserve that. He wants to establish that. And he has that history. So he's loyal to his history, even though his history committed atrocities. His history committed atrocities, and he don't want to acknowledge the atrocities of his history. So in order to do that now, they always try to change the debate and make you look, you hate Jews. You hate this one. You as a hater. Or you living in the past.
And they live together.
Or you
as
have a chip on your shoulder. That's
Exactly,
next thing. Yeah. The black man is running around with a chip on his shoulder. No, but we have a loyalty to humanity.
Exactly.
And when people are butchered in the name of modernization,
Why?
it's happened historically.
Exactly.
It's happening now.
Because we are
The second option.
modern
I'll give you
day
a second option now. Yeah? You have
inheritors
the first
of
one,
that
yeah?
history.
That's right. Yeah, all right, Holmes. You take care. Yeah, all the best, man.
As well, coming.
People,
Thank you very much.
keep smiling.
I've got to embarrass.
Yes.
I've got to embarrass you another time.
Second one, prepare the luggage. I'll give him two options.
That's
Yeah.
worse than the first one.
First one, I told him, if the Jewish
Basic
people
today.
that convert to Islam, they can live there. We bring all the people that went out from Palestine, from Lebanon to Jordan to Egypt, wherever they come from, Syria. They come back and live together as brother, Muslim, all of them. Rayat al-Islam, fine. Second option, prepare your luggage. You have no option. If you keep talking, we can talk 100 years. This is the only option. Two,